What if the reason your cat hides under the bed isn't just stubbornness? It's because nail trimming is causing microscopic damage to the bone inside each claw. I'm Dr. Mary Joy, your neighborhood veterinarian, and I need to share something that changed how I practice feline medicine. After 15 years in clinical practice, I've seen the hidden cost: cats who stop trusting their owners, chronic stress hormone elevation, and aggressive behavior that develops after just a few trimming sessions gone wrong. The pet industry has built a $200 million business around nail clippers and styptic powder. But here's what they don't tell you. There's a natural, stress-free alternative that takes 5 minutes to set up. If you want more vet-approved hacks that save you money and keep your cat healthier, hit that subscribe button. I post new videos every week. Let me guess, your cat hides when the clippers come out. Or maybe they tolerate the first paw, then thrash and scratch you by the second. Perhaps you've drawn blood, theirs or yours, and spent the rest of the day feeling like the worst cat parent on the planet. If you've been dreading nail trims, please hear this. You're not a bad parent. You've been set up to fail by an industry that profits from selling you tools for a problem that shouldn't exist in the first place. Here's what's really happening. Cats are obligate scratchers. That's not a personality quirk or a behavioral issue. It's a biological imperative hardwired into their DNA. In the wild, cats spend hours each day scratching tree bark, logs, and rough surfaces. This isn't just about sharpening their claws. It's about shedding the outer keratin sheaths that grow continuously over each claw, like layers of an onion. When a cat scratches properly, those old sheaths peel away naturally, revealing smooth, sharp, healthy claws underneath. But here's the problem. Most indoor cats don't have access to the right scratching surfaces. So those keratin sheaths don't shed, they accumulate. The claw keeps growing underneath, curving inward, sometimes so severely that the tip pierces the pad. I've seen this in my clinic more times than I can count. And here's the truly heartbreaking part. It's not happening because owners didn't trim their cat's nails. It's happening because they didn't provide the right environment for natural claw maintenance. Let me share a real-world example. A client brought in Bella, a 7-year-old tabby, for what she thought was a urinary tract infection. Bella was urinating outside the litter box, over-grooming her belly until it was raw, and hiding under the bed for hours every day. We ran blood work, urine tests, everything, all normal. Then I asked about her home routine. Turns out, the owner had been trimming Bella's nails every 2 weeks for the past year, because a groomer told her it was necessary. Each session was a battle. Bella would scream, thrash, and once bit her owner hard enough to require antibiotics. Here's what I found when I examined Bella's paws. Her nails were trimmed short, but her paw pads were tense, her toes splayed, classic signs of chronic stress. And her behavior? Textbook stress-induced cystitis and overgrooming. The urinary issues, the bald belly, the hiding. It all traced back to the nail trimming trauma. Within 3 weeks of stopping the trims and implementing the protocol I'm about to share with you, Bella's symptoms disappeared. Completely. Her owner cried in my exam room when she told me Bella had started sleeping on her lap again. Now let's talk about the science behind why nail trimming fails and why it's often harmful. When you restrain a cat and force them into a vulnerable position, their nervous system floods with cortisol and adrenaline. That's the fight or flight response. For some cats, especially those with anxiety or past trauma, this hormonal surge can last for days. Studies show that chronic stress suppresses immune function, disrupts digestion, and even increases inflammation throughout the body. You're not just trimming nails, you're potentially triggering a cascade of health problems. And here's the statistic that changed my practice. In a survey of feline veterinarians, Over 60% reported seeing cats with stress-related illness directly linked to grooming restraint. That includes nail trims, baths, and forced brushing. The American Association of Feline Practitioners now recommends cooperative care techniques, meaning we work with the cat's natural behavior, not against it. So, what's the alternative? Here's the first secret, and it's going to sound almost too simple. Your cat can maintain their own claws perfectly if you give them the right tools and environment. I'm talking about strategic scratching post placement combined with texture variety. That's it. No clippers, no restraint, no stress. But here's what most cat parents get wrong about scratching posts, and it's costing their cats comfort and health. The cheap sisal-covered post you bought at the pet store and stuck in the corner of the basement? Your cat's probably ignoring it, not because they're stubborn, but because it's failing on every biological level. Cats need tall, stable posts placed in high-traffic areas where they already spend time. They need horizontal scratchers near their sleeping spots, and they need texture variety because different scratching motions serve different purposes. Vertical scratching stretches the spine and shoulders. Horizontal scratching targets the chest and core. Your cat needs both. In the next section, I'm going to walk you through the exact protocol I give to clients in my clinic. The height, the materials, the placement strategy, even the brand names that actually work. This is the 5-minute hack that eliminates nail trims forever. Here's the correct way to set up a scratching system that works. You need 2 types of surfaces, minimum. 1 vertical post and 1 horizontal scratcher. Let's start with the vertical post because this is where most cat parents make critical mistakes. The post must be at least 32 inches tall. Why? Because cats need to fully stretch their spine and shoulder blades when they scratch. A short post forces them into a crouch, which feels unsatisfying and doesn't properly shed the keratin sheaths. The base must be heavy and stable, at least 15 pounds or bolted to the wall. If the post wobbles even slightly when your cat uses it, they'll abandon it forever. Cats need to throw their full body weight into a scratch. Instability signals danger. Now let's talk texture. Sisal rope is the gold standard for vertical posts. It mimics tree bark, rough, fibrous, and durable. Sisal fabric works too, but rope lasts longer and provides better resistance. Avoid carpet-covered posts unless you're using looped carpet, not cut pile. Cut pile carpet shreds too easily and doesn't provide the right friction. And here's a critical point. Never use carpet that looks or feels like your furniture upholstery, or you're teaching your cat that all soft fabric is fair game. For the horizontal scratcher, go with cardboard or sisal mat. Cardboard scratchers satisfy the shredding instinct beautifully. They're cheap, recyclable, and cats love the texture. Replace them every 4 to 6 weeks when they start to look shredded. Sisal mats are more durable and work well for senior cats who can't stretch vertically anymore. Placement is everything. Put the vertical post near a window or in the main living area where your cat already spends time. Cats scratch after waking up and after meals. It's part of their natural rhythm. So place a horizontal scratcher within 6 feet of their favorite sleeping spot. If you have multiple cats, you need 1 scratching station per cat plus 1 extra. Non-negotiable. Let me give you specific product names that work. The SmartCat Ultimate Scratching Post is 32 inches tall, has a solid base, and uses tightly wound sisal rope. It's around $40 and will last years. For horizontal scratchers, the Pet Fusion 3-sided vertical cat scratcher doubles as a lounge spot and uses dense cardboard. It's about $20. If you're on a tight budget, even a simple cardboard scratcher from the pet store works. Just make sure it's at least 18 inches long so your cat can stretch fully. Now here's the secret that makes cats actually use these posts: scent marking. Rub a pinch of organic catnip into the base of the post and along the sisal rope. Refresh it once a week for the first month. Cats have scent glands in their paw pads, and scratching deposits their scent. It's territorial communication. Catnip makes the post irresistible and jump-starts the habit. You can also sprinkle a tiny bit of silvervine powder if your cat doesn't respond to catnip. About 30% of cats are genetically immune to catnip, but most respond to silvervine. Let me tell you about Max, a 10-year-old orange tabby I treated last year. Max had been declawed on his front paws as a kitten, a procedure I'll address in the next section, but his back claws were overgrown and splitting. His owner had been trimming them every 3 weeks, and Max had started biting her hands during the process. I recommended the 2-post protocol: one tall sisal post near the living room window and one horizontal cardboard scratcher next to his cat tree. Within 2 weeks, Max's back claws were smooth and naturally maintained. The splitting stopped. And here's the bonus: his anxiety attacks, sudden sprinting, yowling at night, disappeared completely. Turns out, the trimming stress had been triggering his nervous system for months. That brings me to the hidden benefits of this hack. When your cat scratches properly, they're not just maintaining their claws. They're exercising, stretching muscles, strengthening shoulders and core. They're marking territory, which reduces anxiety in multi-cat homes. And they're engaging their prey drive, because scratching mimics the tearing motion cats use on prey. It's mental stimulation packaged as physical maintenance. You've just given your cat a workout, a therapy session, and a nail trim all in one. Here's a practical vet tip. When you first introduce the post, gently take your cat's front paws and mimic a scratching motion on the sisal. Do this once or twice, then step back. Never force it. Most cats will try it on their own within 24 hours. Praise them, use a happy voice, offer a treat. The moment they scratch the post instead of the couch. Vet warning: never punish a cat for scratching furniture. Don't spray them with water, don't yell, don't physically move them away. Punishment creates fear and damages your bond. Instead, redirect. If you catch them scratching the couch, calmly pick them up and place them in front of the scratching post. Reward them when they use it. Redirection plus positive reinforcement works. Punishment does not. By setting up 2 scratching stations today, you've just eliminated the need for nail trims forever. But what if your cat ignores the scratching post? This is the #1 objection I hear in my clinic, and it almost always comes down to 3 fixable mistakes. Mistake 1, wrong texture. If your cat grew up scratching carpet, they may reject sisal at first. Try a different material. Switch from rope to cardboard or vice versa. Watch where your cat scratches naturally. If they love the carpet, try a looped carpet post. If they claw the doorframe, sisal rope is your answer. Mistake 2, unstable base. If the post wobbles, your cat will never trust it. Test it yourself. Push hard on the top. If it rocks even slightly, add weight to the base or mount it to the wall. Cats are hardwired to avoid anything that feels unsafe when they're in a vulnerable, stretched position. Mistake 3, terrible placement. A scratching post hidden in the basement or laundry room will be ignored. Cats scratch to mark territory and stretch after sleep. They need posts in the spaces where they live. Move the post to a sunny window, next to the couch or near their food bowl. High traffic areas win every time. What if your cat only scratches the couch? Here's the redirect protocol that works. Cover the couch arm with double-sided tape or aluminum foil, textures cats hate. Place the scratching post directly next to the couch, within 12 inches. Rub catnip into the post. When your cat approaches the couch, gently redirect them to the post and praise them the instant they touch it. Repeat for 1 to 2 weeks. Most cats switch within 10 days. Now, let's address special cases. If you have a senior cat with arthritis, vertical scratching may be painful. Their shoulders and hips don't extend the way they used to. Provide low-angle ramps or horizontal scratchers placed flat on the floor. A flat sisal mat or cardboard scratcher near their bed works beautifully. What about declawed cats? If your cat was declawed on the front paws, their back claws still need maintenance. Declawing is amputation of the first bone in each toe, equivalent to cutting off your fingertips at the first knuckle. It causes chronic pain, arthritis, and often leads to litter box avoidance because digging in litter hurts. But even declawed cats benefit from scratching posts because their back claws remain intact and their front paws need soft surfaces to knead for therapeutic pressure relief. Vet warning: never declaw your cat. It's banned in over 20 countries and condemned by the American Association of Feline Practitioners. The complications include nerve damage, bone fragments left behind, and lifelong pain that changes your cat's personality. Now let's talk about the systemic connection most cat parents miss. Secret number 4. If your cat's claws are weak, brittle, or splitting even with proper scratching surfaces, the problem is nutritional. Claws are made of keratin, a protein. Keratin production requires amino acids, biotin, and omega-3 fatty acids. Cats fed low-quality kibble don't get enough bioavailable protein to build strong claws. The correct way to support claw health from the inside: add 1/4 teaspoon of nutritional yeast to your cat's food daily. Nutritional yeast is rich in biotin, the B vitamin responsible for keratin strength. Or add a pump of omega-3 oil, fish oil, or krill oil 3 times per week. Both options cost under $10 and last months. Within 4 to 6 weeks, you'll see shinier, stronger claws that shed their sheaths cleanly. Let me tell you about Shadow, a cat I treated 2 years ago. Shadow's claws had curved so severely that the tips pierced his paw pads. He was limping, leaving bloody prints on the floor. His owner didn't know scratching posts were essential. She thought trimming was enough. By the time Shadow came to me, the infection in his pads required surgical removal of 2 claws. It was heartbreaking and completely preventable. Here's what we've built together today. You now have 2 scratching stations, one vertical, one horizontal, in the right locations with the right textures. You've added catnip to make them irresistible. You've learned the redirect protocol for furniture scratching. You've addressed senior cat needs and nutritional support for claw strength. And you've eliminated nail trimming stress forever. Don't feel like you need to execute all of this tomorrow. Start with one tall sisal post in your living room. Watch your cat use it. Then add the second station. Here's what I want you to do right now. Comment below and tell me which room you'll place your first scratching post. I read every single comment. If you want more vet-approved hacks that save you money and reduce stress for both you and your cat, hit that subscribe button. You're joining thousands of educated cat parents who've chosen to work with their cat's biology instead of against it. By choosing this natural approach, you've just honored your cat's instincts. You've given them the gift of stress-free claw maintenance, physical exercise, and mental stimulation. Your cat doesn't need a nail trim. They need you to understand how their body was designed to work. And now you do. I'm Dr. Mary Joy, your neighborhood veterinarian, and I'll see you in the next video, where we'll tackle the litter box mistake that's silently damaging your cat's kidneys.